Hey everyone. Alright, so I just got back from the cinema and went to see the new horror movie It Follows, starring Mika Monroe from The Guest. Now, I didn't know really what this movie was about. I'd just seen the trailer. I hadn't looked into the film to get a synopsis online or anything like that. I just went into this pretty much as cold as you can get, otherwise, other than seeing the trailer. And so I didn't really know what to expect. But this was very good. This was very good. This, much like The Guest, is something special. And again, much like The Guest, this is something right out of the 80s. It really is. Yeah. The basic synopsis or premise of this movie is that there is this thing, and there is no better word to describe it. Even in the movie, the characters have no better words to describe it other than there is this thing. We don't know what the hell it is, right? And it follows you. Basically, it's essentially a curse. You're essentially haunted by this thing that follows you. And it's passed on through sex. Yeah, it's the most deadly sexually transmitted disease yet, guys. It really is. And the way it works is, once you have sex with a person who is being haunted by this thing, it is then following you. But the person who's passed it on hasn't escaped just yet. No, unfortunately not. Because the hell of it is, if this thing kills you, catches you and kills you, it will then move back down the line. So the person who it was after previous, i.e. who passed it on to you, it'll go after them next, and the same each time. So once you've been afflicted, even if you pass it on, it doesn't mean you're safe. And when you pass it on to someone else, you can still see the damn thing if it happens to be nearby. So if you're with the person you pass it on to and it's obviously going after them, you can still see it, and you'll want to get the hell out of there, because if it finishes the person it's chasing off, it's coming straight after you. So that's essentially the premise, i.e. it was following one guy who ends up having sex with Mika Monroe, and it's after her now. And it knows where you are. Somehow it always knows where you are, and it's always after you. It always knows where you are. It's always after you, but it can only walk after you. So that's the thing, you've got to keep moving. You've got to get away you've got to get as far away from this thing as you can, as fast as you can, and that'll at least buy you some time. Won't stop it, won't solve the problem, but it'll give you time to think and work out what you're going to do next. And it doesn't look like you can kill it, because there's one point in the movie where Mika Monroe shoots the thing in the throat. Oh yeah, it drops to the floor. So it stops it for all of 5 seconds, and then it gets back up and keeps on going. So yeah, you can fight it, you can shoot it, stab it, smash it with blunt objects. All that's going to do is just slow it down momentarily. It's not going to stop it at all. So yeah, this is a pretty terrifying idea, and it is a tough sit, this movie. There is some tough parts. Some parts of the movie are tough to watch. Yeah, there's some rough bits in this movie, but it is genuinely frightening in parts, creepy in parts, tense in parts. And do you know another great thing about this movie? The acting's good. It looks good, very stylishly done, as that really 80s vibe, and that brings me to the soundtrack. The soundtrack is very good. You can, like, as I say, you can see the production values on screen. It's not something that's been thrown together cheaply just to make money. Of course, a pretty original idea. And like I say, you can tell again, it's one of those where you can tell everyone involved was bringing their A game, and it shows, and you enjoy it all the more for it. Do you know, when it starts off, I didn't know quite what to make of it, because it's a strange film in the way that it, you know, when you watch it, you'll know what I mean. But it works. It really does. It really does, because when it gets going, you're into it. But yeah, there is some really tense, creepy and terrifying moments in this. You know, this could very well be up there with Halloween, the original, Nightmare on Elm Street, because this is the thing. Obviously, it's more Halloween in the way that they're being stalked continuously by this thing, but then you get the element of a Nightmare on Elm Street, because the person being stalked or afflicted by this thing, of course, persons who have been previously afflicted, they are the only ones who can see it. No one else around them can. So you get that sense of like isolation in that, like, the people being afflicted by Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street, they can only see him in the dreams, and of course convincing other people and getting other people to help them is a hell of a task. It's, you know, how would you go about doing that? So yeah, you get, it has elements of that, like this would be a good companion piece to go with these. And the paranoia, you know, when you're looking at people in the background, people nearby, and thinking, is that them? You know, you're getting into the Thing sort of territory here. This, again, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, The Thing, It Follows. These four movies complement each other so well, because you genuinely have that paranoia, because like I said, this thing is pretty much like The Thing. Sorry if this is getting confusing, in the way that it can take any shape that it wants. It can, you know, it can impersonate a loved one. It could impersonate just a random stranger you might pass by in the street. Honestly, everyone in Mika Monroe in this, you buy her situation completely. You buy that she's terrified. You buy that she's vulnerable, and it makes you think, what the hell is she gonna do? Oh man, this is a good movie. This is I highly recommend this. It's a well done horror movie, and it's a lot of great atmosphere and very few jump scares. There we go. There's only one. There is some, but they're few and far between. Pretty much like Oculus in a way, in that there's a couple of jump scares here and there, but pretty much it's just atmospheric and genuinely creepy imagery. Yeah, and it's such a joy to watch, and you really get invested into it. So I highly recommend It Follows. Mika Monroe is a fantastic actress. I loved her in The Guest. She was my favourite one in that movie. I loved her in this. She's fantastic. Again, becoming something of a good luck charm for me is Mika Monroe. Yeah. brilliant film. It genuinely is something special. Again, up along with Kingsman, could very well be in my top 5 of the year, if you know, at least top 10. Yeah, so take that away from this review. Go see this and go see Kingsman. Yeah, so brilliant movie, and if you guys go and see it, I hope you guys enjoy it too. And I hope if you've seen it already, you agree with some of the things I've had to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you, everyone. Bye.